Hello everyone, my name is Andrea Sid and today I will be presenting on leprosy. My presentation is going to focus on a more generic overview of leprosy. So what is leprosy? Leprosy is also known as Hansen's disease. It is an infection/chronic disease that is caused by a slow-growing bacteria called Mycobacterium leprae. Leprosy can affect the nerves, skin, eyes, and lining of the nose. The bacteria attacks the nerves, which can become swollen under the skin. This can cause the affected areas to lose the ability to sense touch, and pain, which can lead to injuries like cuts and burns. If leprosy is untreated, the nerve damage can result in paralysis of the hands and feet. Leprosy has been around since biblical times, as seen in some passages in the Bible. And it is one of the oldest recorded diseases in the world. The oldest record of leprosy is believed to have been in 15,500 BC with some Egyptians. So Mycobacterium leprae is an acid-fast, rod-shaped bacteria. Here we have an image of the bacteria, and here we have an image of the bacteria on the skin. So a little bit on transmission. So it is often difficult to find the source of infection for leprosy because the transmission pathways are not fully understood. Scientists currently think that transmission is airborne. So this means that it can be transmitted through coughing, sneezing, and breathing in the bacteria. It is also transmitted via droplets. So the most famous form of transmission that people usually think of when they think of leprosy are armadillos. That is because some armadillos are naturally affected with the bacteria that causes leprosy, but the risk of being affected by an armadillo is very low. However, this still means that this is a zoonotic transmission. It is still recommended to stay away from armadillos to lower the risk of you getting leprosy. In Britain, red squirrels have been found to have leprosy-like liaisons. So red squirrels are also a form of transmission in Britain for leprosy. So close contact with an infected person can also lead to transmission. However, 95% of people have natural immunity to leprosy. So leprosy is still existent today, even though most people think it's not. It is most widespread and still an epidemic in some African countries, such as the Democratic Republic of Congo, Ethiopia, Madagascar, Nigeria, the United Republic of Tunisia. Also in some Asian countries, such as Bangladesh, India, Indonesia, Myanmar, excuse my pronunciation, Nepal, Philippines, and Sri Lanka. It is also widespread in one South American country, which is Brazil. So some more on leprosy cases. There were 127,558,000 new leprosy cases detected globally in 2020. This includes 8,629 children under the age of 15 that are affected with leprosy. The new case detection rate among children population was recorded at 4.4 per million children population. So leprosy is still very much around today, even though it is not as prominent anymore. So some signs and symptoms of leprosy. It may take up to 20 years to develop signs of infection. So some skin symptoms would be discolored patches of skin. They're usually flat and it's lighter than the skin around, which is seen in this image right here of this little boy. Also growth on the skin, thick, stiff, or dry skin, painless ulcer on soles of feet, painless swelling or lumps on the face or eyebrows, the loss of eyebrows or eyelashes. Some symptoms caused by damage to nerves are seen in numbness of affected areas of the skin, muscle weakness or paralysis, especially on the hands and feet, enlarged nerves, especially those around the elbow and knee and in the sides of the neck, eye problems that may lead to blindness when facial nerves are affected. And some symptoms in the mucous membrane just include a stuffy nose and a nosebleed. So most symptoms are very noticeable in leprosy. So some more, if signs of leprosy are left untreated, there could be paralysis and crippling of hands and feet. Also some shortening of toes and fingers due to reabsorption, which is seen in this image over here of this person's hand. Also chronic non-healing ulcers on the bottom of feet, blindness, loss of eyebrows, and nose disfigurement. Some other complications that may occur are painful or tender nerves, redness and pain around the affected area, and burning sensation of the skin. Here's another image of what leprosy can look like. So there is something called leprosy stigma. So basically, leprosy has long been stigmated because of its infectious nature and the disfigurement it can cause. This stigma can cause social and emotional problems for people infected because they obviously can become very deformed. However, modern treatments can prevent leprosy from getting worse and spreading to other people. While leprosy is curable, the nerve and tissue damage that occurs before treatment is permanent. However, there are diagnosis and treatment for leprosy. So leprosy is recognized by the appearance of patches on the skin that look lighter or darker, and also by the redness of the affected area. So it's pretty easy to see when someone has leprosy. So how is leprosy diagnosed? It has to be diagnosed, and this is done so by the doctor will take a sample of your skin or nerve through a skin or nerve biopsy to look for bacteria under a microscope and also to test for other skin diseases. So some treatment for leprosy, it lasts between 1 to 2 years. It is treated with a combination of antibiotics. Typically 2 or 3 are used at the same time. Dapsone with rifampicin and chlorpheniramine is added for some types of the diseases. Rifampicin and chlorpheniramine were discovered in the 1960s and added to the treatment. Multi-drug therapy, otherwise known as MDT, helps prevent the development of antibiotic resistance by the bacteria, which may occur due to the length of the treatment. The first breakthrough in leprosy treatment was in the 1940s with the development of Dapsone, even though there has been treatment for leprosy much longer than this. And in 1981, the WHO, the World Health Organization, recommended MTD, which kills the pathogen. So if you did not know, there is a World Leprosy Day, which is usually the last Sunday of January. World Leprosy Day is observed internationally to increase the public awareness of leprosy, which many people think is extinct. It is usually marked by churches, non-governmental organizations, and leprosy champions, so people who have overcome leprosy. It was established in 1954. The date was chosen by the French humanist, excuse me if I butcher his name, but Raoul Francoeur. And the first World Leprosy Day coincided on the anniversary of Gandhi's death, fun fact. So every World Leprosy Day has a theme. This year's theme was Unity for Dignity. So the campaign honors the lived experiences of individuals who have experienced leprosy by sharing their empowering stories and advocating for mental well-being and the right to a dignified life free from disease-related stigma. So World Leprosy Day also focuses on raising money to help end leprosy. So leprosy looking forward. So the World Health Organization has a plan to end leprosy. Towards zero leprosy is the global leprosy strategy for 2021 to 2030. So the long-term vision of this is zero leprosy, zero infection disease, and zero stigma and discrimination. So the goal is for the elimination of leprosy, defined as interruption of transmission. So the generic plan is summed up in like 4 points. It is to implement integrated country-owned zero leprosy roadmaps in all epidemic countries. So an example of this would be political commitment with adequate resources for leprosy in integrated contexts, so political leaders implementing this. Also, scale up leprosy prevention alongside integrating active case detection. So this would be contact tracing for all new cases of leprosy. Also, manage leprosy and its complications and prevent new disability. An example of this would be monitoring, support, and training in self-care. And the last one would be combat stigma and ensure human rights are respected. An example would be an amendment of discrimination laws. Here are the resources, references that I used for this presentation, and thank you so much for watching.